This is the Dvar Malchut, a series of speeches actually given by the Rebbe in 1991, 1992. And this relates to this week's Torah portion, Dvar Malchut. Okay, this when the Rebbe said this in 1991, this Torah portion was already in the month of E.L.U.L. It's next month. By us, it's ushering in the month of Elul. This Shabbat will be what's Shabbat Mavorchim. It will be the Sabbath which gives blessing to the month of Elul. When is Elul actually going to begin? It will begin 2 days of Elul on Thursday and Friday. That's this year. Okay, just so that's clear, but still everything the Rebbe says is relevant to us. Let's go. Parshat REA, and this Torah reading, we always read in the time that's relevant to the month of Elul. Elul is the last month of the Jewish year, the 12th month. The Jewish, if you want to call it the Jewish solar year, is the 12th month. Really, the Jewish lunar year starts off with the month of Nisan. That's the month the Jewish people got out of Egypt. The month of Nisan is always called the first month. According to that, Elul is the 6th month. 6th month. The month of Tishrei is called the 7th month. Tishrei is the month after Elul. That's when all the holidays are. Rosh Hashanah. Okay, this Torah portion, which is called REA, is always read in the time when it's relevant to the month of Elul. In the majority of years, Shabbat Mavorchin, in the month of Elul, sometimes it's read on Shabbat Mavorchin, like this year. That's what we're going to do. That is because Shabbat Mavorchin is the last Shabbat of every month, and it gives blessing to the coming month. Here, the coming month is going to be the month of Elul. Many years, like in this year, okay, the Rebbe said it comes out on Sunday. By the Rebbe, it was on Shabbos and Sunday. Okay, not important. This Torah portion, which is called REA, is always connected to the month of Elul. By us, it's going to be read on the last Shabbat, right before Elul. But Tzorech Lahavin, we have to understand the connection between Parshas REA and the month of Elul. Like it's known that the times of the year are relevant to the Torah reading that we read. Or at first of all, glance, it seems to be exactly the opposite. The month of Elul has meaning, content to it. It's talking about some sort of relationship between us and God and us. Everything else in the Torah also the same thing. This week's Torah portion, REA, I am putting in front of you a blessing and a curse. REA means to see. Seems to contain a different message than Elul. In fact, an opposite message. How? Let's see. What is the message of the month of Elul? What are we supposed to learn from the month of Elul? Not to be normal people. Not to just say I'm a small part of the world and I'll act accordingly. And yet the whole idea of the month of Elul, I am to my beloved and my beloved is to me. That's the first letters of Elul. This is the service of man from below to above. Right? That's what we said. Remember, learn this. Ani Lador, this is a sentence from Song of Songs. King Solomon wrote, I am to my beloved is God. And my beloved is to me, and my beloved comes to me. I go to God, and God reacts and comes to me. But it starts off with me, Ani. Avodas Adam, this is service of man from below to above. Sha'adam, that a person, mitarer, mitkarev, a person arouses and comes closer to God. Al Yidei by means of this, and afterwards becomes Dodi Li, then God reacts and comes closer to us. We feel more the reality of God, the goodness of God. The world becomes less tense, frustrating, small, threatening. You feel the creator more than the creation. But we're the ones we have to start off. Ani ladodi. The E.L.U.L parshas, that's the month of Elul. We do the work. But in the Torah portion, which is called REA, this week's Torah portion is exactly the opposite. REA, see, I am putting in front of you today a blessing. This is stressing what God does, not what we do. Drawing down from above to below. That God is giving to us. Wait. Let's see if we can even add on even more. This stressing of the idea of drawing godliness from above to below. The kol pratia of chitevos and all of every single word in this first sentence of our Torah portion, it's all talking about coming from above to below, the opposite of E.L.U.L. E.L.U.L is going from below to above, what we do. And here it's talking about what God is doing. Re'eh, and every word is talking about what God is doing. Listen. Re'eh, see, Anochi, I, notain, give, lifnechem, before you, hayom, today. All these are talking about from above to below. How? We'll see. Re'eh, see, REA, this is talking about seeing. This is above understanding. We didn't do this in the Kuti Torah that we learned, but usually Chachma, that Yud of God's name, that's called, compared to seeing. You see something, you don't understand it, but you see it. And hearing, that's already understanding. I feel Shema Yisrael means to understand. Shema, do you hear what I'm saying? It means understand. Re'eh, though, is talking about Chachma, above understanding. It's not similar seeing, hearing to seeing. Right? If you see something, then you can testify in court. If you just hear something, you can't, right? I heard that Shmerel stole money from Beryl. It's no good. I heard it from a really reliable source. No good. Tell that reliable source to come, and let's see. If someone saw it, then okay. Or if there's a document or something, maybe they signed it. But if there's no one saw it, no good. Look, and therefore, ein aid nasadayan. Therefore, it says that a person that witnessed something, he cannot be a judge. Why can't he be a judge? He saw the thing. He knows this person is guilty. Because judgment has to be that you hear impartially both sides of the argument. So if you saw something, you can be a witness. But you're not allowed to be a judge because a judge has to be impartial. And once you see something, you're never going to be impartial again. You know what the truth is. Given since you saw it, you can't find any merit to this person. I saw him steal $100. Doesn't make any difference what proofs he brings. Masha'in, which is not the case when you hear. When the judge hears from the witnesses that they saw something, then you can judge who's telling the truth, who's not. One of the differences between seeing and hearing, that hearing is from below to above, something that we do. That you understand detail after detail. Until the whole general thing becomes clear. REA, but seeing is exactly the opposite. You see the whole thing first, and then you analyze it afterwards. Shetofis melachatchila, that first of all, you understand the whole entire thing, and then afterwards, you can understand a little bit of the details. Okay, so that means REA coming from above to below. God is showing us. Not that we have to do anything, understand. God is showing us. Okay, so we're now explaining how every word of this first sentence of our Torah portion is not talking about what we do, ani ladodi li, but it's talking about what God is doing from above to below. Re'eh means God is showing himself. Anochi, I. Hodat atzmuto, the God is revealing his essence and his being. Zeh sheponim elav ba'amiras anochi, namely the one that we call I. God is revealing this I. God is saying, see my I, my essence. Derech hagbav ha'itnasut. That God is the highest of the high. Usually we appeal to him, but here God is saying, I'm revealing this to you. Milamay lamata, from above to below. That's the difference between ani and anochi in Hebrew. Av shepirusham, even though that the letters are the same. Ani and anochi means I. But there's a difference between them. Kishamodim stam, when you tell somebody something, ani poloni, I am, right? I am Rabbi Bolton. I am. You just let a person know something. When you know something, hagbav nasud. But if you want someone to think that I'm superior, then you say anochi. No one says something like that. But if you do say anochi, it means that, like, I am like royalty. The word anochi means like so, almost like, my majesty, something like that. I don't know if is there anything equal to that in English. Let's see. What do you think? I don't know. They used to have esquire. I think that esquire means a judge, a lawyer or something. Anyway, I don't know if there isn't something, but in Hebrew there is, right? In Hebrew there is. If you're talking about third person, there certainly is, right? If you say, or second person, your majesty or your honor, but you don't say my majesty or my honor. You don't say anything like that. But the word anochi implies greatness, highness. Anochi means my essence, totally above you. When God says Anochi, means he's taking the highest aspect of himself, like Anochi Aroa. I am the one who saw. This is, I think, who said this? This was Shmuel who said it. Let me see. Yeah, it's Shmuel, Samuel said, I am the prophet. Anochi Aroa. Kamud Gash, like it says, the difference between Ani Anochi, it says the Anochi has this extra letter Chaf. And Chav shows on the aspect of godliness is called Keter, God's crown. Shesham Iker Aromot Vitznatsu, the God's crown shows on his highness. That's why he started the Torah with the Ten Commandments. Anochi is showing God's greatness. So here we go. Ra'eh means God is showing us. It's not that we're trying to understand. Anochi is God showing us his greatness that's totally above us. He's coming down. Noten, I am giving, means God is giving. We're not taking, God is giving. And it says that anyone who gives with in a generous eye. Lifnechem, I'm putting in front of you. What does it mean? Lipnimiotchem. I'm putting it into your insides. That this is stressed very much, drawing down from above to below. That it comes, first of all, in the inside, and afterwards it's drawn down also in an external way. Lifnechem, little by little, God is pushing it from above to below into us, not like from below to above. This is not like what I said. Here we're talking about God giving from inside out, not like what I said. I'm sorry. God is giving, lifnechem means from the inside out. First of all, you'll feel me, and then afterwards you go outward. That's what it means, lifnechem. Not like in a normal way where first of all we have to think about God, we have to try to understand God, etc. So all these words in this sentence, the first sentence of our Torah portion, these 5 words, ra'eh, see, anochi, I, noten, give, lifnechem, before you, hayom, today. He didn't explain yom, but all of these we'll explain in a moment. We'll explain in a moment. These imply God is doing something from above to below. Hayom. Oh, Shemora, this indicates on light and revelation, like it says, Vayikra Elokim Yom, the God called the day. No, he called the light, he called day. Umora, this indicates also, and Hayom, this indicates also on something eternal. That's how we began the Lakuti Torah. When we say that God gave it today, it means every day, all the time. The rabbis say any place where it says Hayom, today, it means eternal, forever and forever. Hayom mamish. The cave and says Tam Shachahim Nilamai Lamata Harihu Ba'ofen Kavua V'Nitzchi. It is in a set way and it's eternal. Without understanding what is good, how the world is. God is just giving. Here was a few words. That was the first 5 words. Here's the next 2. Bracha v'klala. God said, I am giving you a blessing and a curse. Here he explains what just a blessing. I am giving in front of you a blessing. A blessing, the whole thing of a blessing is, we learned this before also, is drawing down godliness. Milamai lamata, from above to below. From the highest levels, which is concealed. Therefore, it says the hepech habracha. Therefore, it says it can be also in the opposite of a blessing. A blessing and a curse. A curse can be also concealed blessing. And I just want to take one moment here, please. Let me just take a 1 moment break. Excuse me, please. So all these words are talking about what God gives us from above. Now, I think it's very important to understand that God does give from above. But on the other hand, God also demands that we should do something for him from below. So it seems we have two opposites over here. The month of E.L.U.L is what we do from below to up to God. In a way, we can say not really certain 100% what God is. We're just doing it from below to above. And serving God, believing in God, trying to love God, trying to approach God, working on ourselves. That's the month of E.L.U.L. The month of, I'm sorry, this first sentence of this week's Torah portion is not talking about that at all. It's talking about what God does for us. See, I am giving to you today a blessing. And the whole thing of blessing means from above to below, until the complete blessing is the level of sasom, biyoter, shehi bebechinas sasom. Therefore, it is comes from a place which is totally concealed. Looking there, and therefore it says ne'emaz v'hepech habracha. Therefore, it even can come out that it seems to be a curse. What does it say? I am giving to you today a blessing and a curse. Well, that's not nice. A curse? It says no. You don't understand. It seems to be a curse, but it really is coming from such a high place that you can't, and you say processes it in your mind. So therefore, it seems to be a curse, but it's really a blessing. What's an example on Mount Sinai? In Mount Sinai, God revealed himself, the essence of all good, and the Jewish people says, we can't take it. It's too much. Please, no more. That's what it means. I'm giving you a blessing. That's a revealed good. And a curse means that it's so tremendously high that we can't process and see the good in it. It is so good. The whole idea of the Inyan Haggadah b'Masechet, like it says in Moed Katan, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he sent his son to Rabbi Yonatan and Rabbi Yehuda. Excuse me. And they gave him a blessing. And the blessing they gave to him was that, you should invest all your money, and then and it should never come back to you. And that your house should be destroyed. And all these weird things they said to him. The Omru, though, they said to him, these bad things. Omer Ben, his son, Rabbi Eliezer, came back to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and he said, Shetziru oto, that they made fun of me. They gave me all these curses. And then Rabbi Shimon explained, no, these curses are really tremendous blessings. And he explained what they are. They're really blessings. You have to see in the Gemara what it is. That by means of this is drawn down from a tremendous, higher level than before. That which you can transform curses to blessings. Kamosha tshuva gadola, just like so that returning to God is greater than never having left God, and in the first place, it's better. Some ways it's better. I mean, it's not, you should never leave God to do the opposite of what God wants. But nevertheless, it's better to return to God from far away than to have never left. The same thing, that's called a curse. It's a curse, it's not a good thing. It says, yes, but when the essence of it is revealed, then that becomes, you see that it's something that was so high you couldn't accept it. The choshech, the darkness, transforms to light, transforms from bad to good. This is tremendously higher than just good itself. Nevertheless, so if so, we see these are two opposites. Parshas REA is talking about what God gives us. We don't do anything. God is just giving us and giving us blessings, even the highest blessings, even blessings that we can't receive. They're so high. It seems to us to be curses. God is giving, just giving. On the other hand, Ani Ladu, the month of Elul, is the opposite. That's what we have to give to God. God is not giving us anything. We have to declare him as a king. We have to surrender ourselves to him. We have to this. So it seems that they don't really have any connection one to the other. And they're supposed to, because it says that the Torah portion that we read is supposed to be similar to the time that we read it. Nevertheless, we read REA Anochi, Noten Lifnechem, a blessing on the Shabbat, which blesses the month of Elul, which is Ani Ladodi, a working that we have to do from below to above. So what should we be stressing here? What we have to do for God or what God is doing for us? Seems to be two opposites, but really it's not. And we'll explain this, God willing, tomorrow. And now let's do the Yom Yom and hear a story.